but they are very predictable and easy to fight, which is a bit of a problem. Also, we get I was expecting also like a new version of the Heavy Mech, which is sort of like an end boss fight, but it never really happens. And also then we get these new sort of Reaper troops, but the Reapers aren't on Omega. These are just ones that Cerberus think they're under control, and they're called Adjectives, which were in the Omega comic book, and they are basically there to, well, agitate. What they do is they're kind of like the Flood from Halo. Is when they kill, if they kill, they'll either kill you or they'll convert you into one of them. And this actually is a part of a character trait for Nyreen, because she says she's seen her friends being turned into Adjectives, and then she's had to kill them, which has scarred her and made her. And actually, it says she's afraid of them, which makes her a bit more sympathetic and more likable, saying that she's not. She may be a hard ass, but she has a fear. She's not invincible. But the Adjectives, they're a lot more difficult to fight, but I don't think you fight them enough in the DLC. They're built up, but then they're built up, but then they never really hit the mark, which sort of explains. It's kind of like the whole DLC. The entire time they're trying to reach this mark of saying yes, this was a DLC that I am glad I paid for, and I will happily play it again and again and again. It's trying to hit that mark. It's like, here is the mark of what I just said it's trying to reach. And the DLC is all the time is trying to hit that mark, trying to get there, but it never really does. There's no real epic moment of, where you see like an entire entire war being played on Omega. There's no trying to think of the word. There's nothing that makes you feel like you're in a fight. You just feel like you're going from room to room, shooting off other people, and then continuing. It never really hits the mark it's trying to, and you can see it's so trying to get you to hit this mark of emotion and epicness and all that thing, but it never really hits it. But what else? I was going to say something. There was something I was going to say, and I've forgotten what it is. But anyway. Now I remember now. It's the. Oh yes, now I remember. It's like this DLC. You can clearly see it's trying. It's sort of trying too hard to be an epic battle, an epic story. But it does it. It's somewhere in the middle. It doesn't have like the epic conclusion and a dramatic choice like Rannoch did, or it doesn't have the same emotional story like some of the loyalty missions did in Mass Effect 2, like Tali, Miranda, Jack, Garrus, Mordin. They never really. It tries to hit that sort of emotional level, but it never really gets there. And it's the same with. It never really reaches that dramatic battle, which you are sort of expecting to happen. You are waiting for it to happen the entire time, and there's moments where you think, okay, this is going to be it, but it never gets there. It never reaches that point. Now we're going to come into the part that I didn't like, and it's actually a spoiler. It's a bit of a spoiler. So I'm going to fade to black, and then I'm going to tell you what part you should click up to, which is going to be the end of the spoilers, and then I'm going to give my summary. So anyway, I'm going to fade to black now, and when it's unfades, I'm going to be talking about spoilers about this DLC. Okay, so what happens is the character of Nyreen, she sort of runs away from from Shepard's command and actually sort of goes alone and reaches Afterlife, Aria's club, but a lot of agitators start attacking the Afterlife, and what she does is she's a biotic. she's a Turian biotic, and what she does, she grabs these dead Cerberus soldiers' grenade belt, sort of throws them next to the agitators, and then runs in the middle, creates a biotic force field, and basically sacrifices herself and kills all the agitators in this bubble. However, it's a big dramatic moment which it doesn't get the right emotion that BioWare are trying to go, because they were trying to make you feel really sad for her death, and it's like this is, but it actually makes you feel like this death didn't need to happen. It's sad and everything, but no, it's sort of a no. This character deserves so much better. We wanted to see more of her, but you have this great character you could have built up and made more out of BioWare, but you just end up, you don't know what to, but you just end up killing her. It's a waste of a really good character. You just end up killing her. But there's a plot hole to this actually, which is throughout the entire DLC and even the Mass Effect games, we've seen that biotics can create force fields, but they don't have to be inside the force field to create it. And even Nyreen does it to Arya earlier on before she sacrifices herself. She creates a biotic shield around Arya to protect her while she's doing something. But so my question is, why didn't she throw the grenades at the agitators, create a bubble, biotic bubble around the agitators, with her outside, so she didn't have to die? She could have just blown them up, and we'd all been happy. They don't, and it just doesn't feel right. It's not something that gets you go, oh, I'm sad she's dead. It's more of a, oh, BioWare, why? We didn't need that. She's a way better character. You could have done so much more with her, but you just end up killing her. It doesn't make any sense. It's sad, really, to think. It's sad, but it's the wrong kind of sad, because you don't feel emotionally scarred that you've lost this character. You feel emotional that we're never going to see this character again, which is a shame, because BioWare had a really good character, and they just ended up killing. They just killed her. So that's going to be the end of the spoilers. Gonna fade again, and then when I come back, it's my summary. Okay, we're back, and this is the final summary. So, the Omega DLC is good. It's a good DLC, but it's not a great one. It's missing that thing. It tries to reach a great DLC, but it never reaches that moment. They say it's 4 hours long. I beat it in 2 hours, which I don't know. I think I might have missed a few side missions, which there are to do in this. There are a couple of side missions to do. I think I missed one of them. Anyway, it's a good DLC, but it's not worth 1,200 Microsoft points, which is the asking price. And also, I was also expecting when we finish the DLC to be able to fly back to Omega, and like we did with Lair of the Shadow Broker, we could go back to the Shadow Broker's ship. That never happens. We can't go back to Omega. Once the DLC's done, that's done. Which is it's a shame, because I might be wrong on that, but I don't think there is any way of going back to Omega after you've completed the DLC, which is a bit of a shame. Which I wanted to go back to Omega after I've done the DLC and see what's going on, but no, never happens. So really, it's a good DLC. It's not a great DLC. It's got a few problems, and it never reaches what it's trying to reach, and it's so desperately trying to reach it, but it never gets there. So it's not worth 1,200 Microsoft points, but I'd say if you're a Mass Effect, you'd get it if you're a Mass Effect fan. But if you're just a casual fan and you've just started playing these games, I wouldn't get it. Really, you gotta be a fan who's played all 3 games from start to finish to get this DLC. It's not worth. If you're a casual fan who's just started playing it, don't get the DLC. But apart from that, it's hard to say, because I wanted to like this DLC. I really did, but I like it, but I don't like it as much as I wanted to. And there's little problems that just keep on dragging it down. So really, that's it. You could have done so much better, BioWare, and I think actually it comes across that you wanted to do better, but you never really managed it. So with that, I'll end it now. So I'm Alex the Hunted. and that was my Omega DLC review. If you want to see more reviews, or you like what, you can subscribe. This is the first time I'm ever doing it, but yeah, there's a subscribe button here or here. I don't know which way I'm pointing, but it's either here. You can subscribe to me, and if you want to see more reviews, sketches, other stuff, stuff like that, then feel free to comment. And also, if you want to tell me what you think, comment below. If I made a mistake or you want to correct me on something, also leave it in the comments. But I'm Alex the Hunted. Goodbye.